Hi everyone, it's Rachel from Sage back again with episode 2 in Project Pan 2024 eyeshadows. So in this video I am featuring my Subculture palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. My target shade, I've actually got 4 in this palette, but today I'm using target shade Dawn as a base shade. It is basically the same colour as my skin tone, so that's what makes it an ideal setup shade. And just going in with the fuller, fluffier brush to cover the whole lid. This does help. I mean, I have eye primer on, of course. You know I never put eyeshadow on without primer. But this does also help the other shadows stick to the skin. It's kind of like using translucent powder. You know how that usually helps your other makeup stay on? Well, that's the idea here as well. So the first palette in question is BH Turquoise for December. And my target shade in this palette, of course, is the pressed glitter called Wild Thing. But I'm going in with some other setup shades, and I'm using the shade Friendly here, which is a caramel-y sort of a brown. It's a warm brown anyway, light brown. Just through the crease, sweeping up towards the brow. I have so much lid space there, and I want to always give the impression of it being lifted so that the folds there, which the droopy bits on the outside are starting to, you know, are not as prominent. Just using the same sweep with the fluffy brush that I did with the first shade. Going in with the deeper brown in the palette called Ambitious. I love this one. This is I would say a milk chocolate brown, and actually focusing it in the crease area. Now, because I'm going in with some very bright blues, turquoise, brown and turquoise look amazing together, and hence the colour story of this particular palette, which is so pretty. It's so pretty. And it just screams summertime in Australia to me. You know, the sand, the water, the bright sun. And of course we are in midsummer here, although today you wouldn't know it. Sitting where I am. We've had about 50 mil of rain here overnight. So yes, that's unusual for us to have anything like that here, let alone have that much rain in summertime. Anyway, so you can see I've set up the look there, easy peasy, and that could be out the door, you know, done my eyeshadow, finished. But of course, I'm going to use my target shades. Now, I've decided to put this shade Influential on the inner corner and wrap it around the inner corner. It's just so pretty. It's just so pretty. It's a true champagne, and it is buttery and smooth and doesn't, I don't think, accentuate the lines there. So you can see I'm wrapping it right around the inner corner to brighten. I don't often use shimmers to brighten, but this one is so forgiving and smoothing that I'm happy to use it. And of course, it sets up what's to come with the pressed glitter. Going in with my finger again. Now, look at that, isn't that extraordinary? So it is so beautiful and so deep. But I'm already starting to wonder, first of all, whether I should have used a glitter glue. And yeah, it's about now that I'm like, okay, I really should have used a glitter glue because there's glitter going everywhere. which, you know, that's glitter, isn't it? Glitter is like you'll find it 10 years later in your carpet if you've got it on your carpet. So you can see the colour payoff is amazing, but I'm worried that I've chosen a shade in this palette that is already past its best. You can see how patchy it is there, and I'm a bit worried. So I did go in with some glitter glue, and now I'm trying to merge the shades and come back with that shade Influential a bit more to set it down and make it less obvious that there's patchiness, and just to blend them a bit more. But I have actually got a glitter glue primer or eye primer on my finger as I'm doing that. Okay, so this is where I'm like, what do I do next? So my solution is to go in with a flat small brush in the shade Turquoise, which is the biggest shade in the palette, and merge all of that together. Now the base binder in this shade is emollient, and it's actually, I think it's actually starting to help stick everything down. So I'm using that now as my liner shade and drawing it up towards the top lash line as well. It's beautiful, but it's a lot lighter, and I was hoping for more of a black base, which the glitter glue, the Wild Thing shade has. It has a black base, whereas the shade Turquoise clearly has a white base. But it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And it does work beautifully with the rest of the eye look. So now I'm starting to think, okay, that maybe should be my target shade now. I'm thinking that the shade Wild Thing, the pressed glitter, may be no good anymore. I didn't have any troubles using the pressed glitter in the Citrine for November, but this one is breaking up, and I'm looking at it here as I'm doing the audio, and it's like there's actual balls of it. Yes, I've hit pan in it. I did hit pan, quite a good pan, as you'll see. But should I switch out Wild Thing for Turquoise? So my brush here is that same flat brush, and I'm using the brush now to try and get it to stop balling up and going everywhere. It's still falling all over my face and my clothes. So my next strategy, of course, is to wet the brush, which perhaps I should have done already. But you don't normally have to do that with pressed glitters, and certainly not with the BH ones. And that's what makes me think that maybe this particular shade is past its use by, and maybe I should switch it out and swap it for Turquoise. So that would be my target shade, which is going to be hard because it's an enormous pan of colour, and I wouldn't get nowhere near finishing it, but I might hit pan. So tell me what you think. I think I'm going to have to stop using Wild Thing. Tell me if I should use either the Turquoise shade as my alternate, or should I pick another shade, perhaps Influential, which is that champagne colour, which is a little boring, but still easy to use, wearable. This is me cleaning my face because I've got so much glitter on my face that I had to stop here and clean up. And I've not had that trouble with this palette before. One of my favourite mascaras, Huda Beauty's Legit Lashes. This is a double-ended mascara, and this is the blue shade. And I just think blue on blue looks so good. purple and blue, blue on blue, green on blue. People say they shouldn't be together. I don't agree. I think it's a great combination, especially for a blue-eyed person. I think I got my videos switched around here. Sorry, folks. Editing issues. So here is probably an out-of-date liner. I don't even know if this is still available anymore, but I cannot, this will not die. This tube of liner from NYX Epic Wear in turquoise. It just won't, it's not chunky, it's not dry, it goes on smoothly, it's beautiful product, and the colour, my goodness, so intense. And I just can't get to the end of it. It just will not finish. So here it is, I'm still using it. Now, I'm not advising people to use products past their use by date, but this is my own choice. I've decided to do this. This is on me. And it's still fresh. It doesn't smell weird. It doesn't have any issues, unlike the pressed glitter. And turquoise is my birthstone colour. So partly that's why I love it so much. So I'm using Peaches and Cream eyeliner in Cleopatra, I think it is. Papyrus, which is a champagne satin matte finish. One of the easiest eyeliners to use I've ever had. This whole range from Peaches and Cream is extraordinarily good. It's the hieroglyphics set, and I got it from Glam Raider. I'm pretty sure it's still available at glamraider.com.au, and you get the most beautiful colours, and they're all wearable, and the quality is amazing, and the whole set is like $50 or something, and you get 6 of them, I think, 5 or 6. Brilliant. You can see the brightness that liner gave me. So now my favourite concealer is the Natasha High Glam. This one is in the neutral shade. I'm just dotting it around my face where I had to go in and clean because I'm a bit red there now. I've been blending it in the meantime with my finger, and I'm just finishing doing that. This is how I typically apply it under my eyes now. I'm finding it so much better than a sponge because the warmth of my hand it takes out that crease factor somewhat. Nothing will ever do it completely, but it's certainly a lot better than it is using a sponge, I think. So the Kosas Cloud Setting Powder in Feathery. I have actually hit pan here. This is amazing. I've only been using it for a few months. These Kosas products, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, it's a really, really good setting powder. But if I went through one in a matter of months last year, and then I switched, or the year before, and I went to LYS instead, and I got a lot more value for money out of it. And I would say they are identical in result. So I'll use this up, and it looks like I'm going to be using it up quite quickly, especially now that it's summer. And then I'm going to go back to LYS because it's about half the price. Both are available at Sephora, I think, was Kosas. Sorry, Kosas is Mecca, LYS is Sephora. It's hard to remember these things. So a product that was in my project pan last year that I didn't get close to finishing. I finished the other one, the other shade, but the Mecca Max Off Duty Stick in this one's Sorbet. I did finish Pinch last year. This one is definitely more of a summer shade, being that really peach colour, and it goes so well with the eye look. These are really easy to use, and they're like $20 at Mecca. They're very good quality, I have to say. And the colours are beautiful, and they're not glowy. The difference between this one and the Australis one, the Australis I also love, but it's really glowy, and sometimes I don't want that, especially if I've got a fairly over amped up eye look like I do here. I don't really want more glow or shine. So the matte, it's not matte, but it's not shiny. It's just flattering and doesn't provide texture. It's a good cream product. So I've decided to put it on my lips as well, because, you know, why not? And then I go back into the palette as well. I'm going to go over the center of my lips with the shade Influential. Isn't it? I just think this is such a sort of 70s vibe going on now with the turquoise and then the really frosty lip. Love it. Good 70s kid that I am. Just some bronzer. You can see there's a ton of pan there. This is the Napoleon Purtis. I really, really want to try and finish it this year. There's so much product in the pan. And even though it's a very expensive product and it's from an expensive luxury brand, you really actually get a lot of value for money. And the formula, I think I've said before, I've not been without one of these Mosaic Harmony powders since about 1995. I really, really do love them. I have the blush in the light pink, and I have this bronzer, which I've just had, like I said, I've had one of them ever since I was in my 20s. Sometimes you just can't beat a classic. So that's all tying together quite well now. All the tones, the contrast, as well as the tonality. I just cannot get past turquoise and brown and coral colours together. I love them. Here's the final look. I think I am going to switch out Wild Thing and go for another shade. So I'm going to switch that. You can see the pan. Look at it. Big pan. Should I go for that one? Tell me. I think I need to change, but I'm not sure which shade to change for. So you can let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.